Hello, Louisville. I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Pairadice.
All right. Let's get moving.
They boom you.
Louisville boomed you.
That's right. Where have we heard that before, AC?
Coach K back in 2013 when we gave Duke the boom.
That's right. That's right. Different sport, same result.
That's right.
Louisville rolled up Syracuse this weekend, 62-28. It wasn't even close.
No, they didn't have a chance.
They really didn't. I was surprised as we talked about Charlotte being, not quite as good a team, and then Louisville opens their ACC slate with Syracuse at Syracuse. Carrier Dome, kind of a tough place to play. Can be a tough place to play, but Louisville made them look silly.
Fans at Syracuse, I hear word.
Yeah, they weren't very gracious, weren't very good hosts, and you know what? It's like stomping on the cardinal bird at home.
Oh, yeah.
You do something like that, then we just let our play on the field do the talking.
We know Syracuse fans are upset with us because that little parting gift we gave them when we left the Big East in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
We understand.
Exactly. Well, they rolled up 845 yards of total offense. Oh, yeah. Lamar had about 610 yards himself. 411 passing, 199 rushing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might have been an ACC record. I don't know if 845 is or not, but that's a heck of a lot of yards against an ACC opponent.
Yeah, we've gotten Bobby's offense is rolling. We got it back. We're putting up points. He's got as many receivers as he needs. He's got his quarterback. And that offensive line is working.
They're doing a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing a lot better. They got another year now, or year of seasoning now under their belts, and they seem to be gelling a little bit better. That's all it was last year. Was just that they were young. I mean, they didn't do a very good job running the ball, but they couldn't sustain their blocks, and it just made it difficult on them. But they're a lot better this year, and they look a lot better this year. There was a couple of things that I'll point out that we could do better with.
Turnovers.
Yeah.
I think we had 3 turnovers, 9 penalties.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not going to work against a Florida State or some of the better teams. Clemson, coming in. Houston. We can't do that against those guys.
No, they won't make it. I mean, I know Bobby's trying to cut down on the penalties, but again, we had 9 of them, and then 3 turnovers again. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. I mean, Lamar threw 1 pick, and that was a bad pass, but, hey, it's going to happen. As many touchdowns as he's already had this year, I guess you got to expect a few mistakes.
We got the defense, to handle that.
Yeah. So what do you think about the wide receiver play? I mean, the rushing game was great. It's a very balanced attack. They had a great rushing game. They had 400 yards of rushing and about the same passing, I think.
Well, we had about 8 or 9 different guys catch balls. I think we caught for something like over almost 500 yards. 21 catches by the wide receivers. The trouble part is we only got 1 receiver in the end zone, and that was my guy, James Quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jamari Staples.
Mm-hmm.
He's he caught a lot of balls, but we got to get him in the end zone also.
Yeah,
scoring.
And I don't know if it's too much of a concern that they're not getting in the end zone with wide receivers because you got to control the ground game, and that's what they did, and that's important, and that's where all the touchdowns came from, 7 of them. So, I guess it's not all bad that they only got 1 receiving touchdown, but yeah, you would like to see a few more of those guys get in the end zone.
Yeah, and as a wide receiver, that's what you want. That's the ultimate goal is to get in that end zone.
Yeah, you want your reward. You want your reward.
Yeah.
So, player of the game, Syracuse, I think it's Lamar Jackson. He did all he could possibly do, and jumping over that Syracuse guy was
like
definitely
Superman.
A highlight. That was pretty impressive. I mean, that was awesome. And opening play of the game, throws a 72-yard touchdown pass to your guy. James ran a nice pattern. He's wide open. He split both of those safeties back there. I don't know what either one of those guys were thinking. They just let him go right in between them and got him behind him, and that was history. But, that's proof of his improved footwork and everything about his passing. Yeah, he was right on the money to James, and boom, gone.
And I didn't think that we would have a quarterback this soon who would take the place of Teddy. He's not as beloved yet as Teddy is around here, but he's going to get there, and he can do some of the things that said he can do, but I think he's going to be a great, great, great kid before he leaves here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to have him. Who was your player of the game?
Well, it's between Staples and James Quick. You know, they both, Staples caught for more yards, but James got in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, James is going to be my player of the week.
Yeah, that's probably a good pick. You got to get in the end zone, get the payday. So, and then I've had some requests for us to go back and pick some games from around the country.
All right.
There's no bigger game than there is coming up Saturday, Louisville against Florida State.
Right.
Like you said, it's the only top 10 matchup in there. But let's look at a couple games. And Let's
Okay.
look at Alabama and Ole Miss. Ole Miss has won the last 2 games, the last 2 years. This game's at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't see Alabama's favored by 9. So here's the thing: I don't see Ole Miss beating them 3 times in a row, but I don't think I see Alabama winning by more than 9 either.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Ole Miss in the points. I think Alabama's going to win though.
Well, Coach Saban's not going to let him lose 3 to this team. He's got his quarterback rolling. He's got some guys. Well, he keeps horses. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think Alabama's going to beat them. They're going to beat them pretty good, I believe. I'm going to say 42-17.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts for Alabama's done a good job. He's a freshman, so I think he's a freshman. But yeah, he seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then let's jump on to Oregon and Nebraska. AC knows I like the Ducks. You ever watch these episodes?
Yeah.
I love watching the Ducks play. However, this year, I don't think the Ducks are living up to their billing yet. I think they're just not playing typical Oregon ball, you know. And now they do score, and then they go for 2 right away, which I love. My buddy Mike out there in Las Vegas, the Southwest guy, he loves them. I love the Ducks. We stay in contact. He's always texting me about when we're watching Oregon play. However, I think the Ducks are going to run into a buzzsaw this weekend. They got Nebraska at Lincoln.
Nebraska.
I know, but Nebraska's only favored by 3. I mean, Pro Cup, whatever their Oregon's quarterback's name is. I don't know, man. I just for some reason think Nebraska's going to win the game. I don't think they're going to blow them out, but I think they might even cover. So I'm going to take Nebraska in the 3.
I just don't think Nebraska's hadn't had a team since Turner Gill left there. So. You know, the Ducks roll them up. Ducks gonna win that game.
All right. Well, at least one of us are cheering for the Ducks, Mike. So, and usually it is me, but we switch it up a little bit. All right, Michigan State and Notre Dame. Now that's gonna be a good game. What do you think about that one?
Is that Notre Dame?
It's at Notre Dame.
Michigan State will win that one.
Well, and I'm gonna go with AC. Notre Dame is favored by 6.5, 6.5. I don't know, but. I don't think Michigan State needs any points. I think they win the game straight up.
Yeah, they just, you know, quarterback play is important for them. And, you know, Michigan State always has great coaching. So, you know, I don't see them having a problem.
I think this is their first real game at Michigan State's real game. So they've probably been focused on this one. I think Michigan State's going to win straight up, too. So we both agree on that one. USC Stanford. Stanford, you're going to hear me speak of this guy just a couple times this season. Christian McCaffrey, he's my guy. I met him last year at the Paul Hornung Awards. He's a super cool guy. His family's great. I love the kid. He should have won the Heisman last year. He got jobbed. I told him that. But I said, hey, look, just do what you did last year. You're not going to beat out, you know, Lamar Jackson, though. So he's going to, you know, maybe runner up again this year. But
hey, Christian, can you please give JP a call? He wants you to marry his daughter. So, you know, you all can be a happy family and he can have you and the family. Yeah. So he's a McCaffrey fan.
Yeah, oh, I'm a big fan. He's a great kid. He's a super football player. So, needless to say, I like Stanford. I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to roll USC. I don't think it's going to be a game. I think it's probably 10 points, 2 touchdowns. I think Stanford rolls them.
I think USC's going in. Where they going to Stanford, right?
Yeah, it's at Stanford.
They're going to Stanford. They, you know, they've got they got good colors, but they're soft. And I don't understand how a major university like USC becomes soft, but they are. And Stanford rolls them.
Yeah, they're going to get hit in the face by Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys they're going to hit them hard. They're going to hit them quick, and it's not going to be much of a game, I don't think. So let's move on to this weekend, AC. We got game day in town. There's a buzz all over the city. I can't wait for this game. Kind of working up to it. It just keeps getting more exciting. The closer that day is going to get here.
That's right. Get there early.
For sure. That's all we can advise.
And please, UofL, do something about the traffic. It was horrible last home game. So
yeah, he was almost late for even kickoff.
That's
so
right.
I don't know. So it's the biggest game of the college football weekend.
Yes.
Two top 10 teams playing each other. We talked about some other matchups, but I don't think any are as good as this one.
No.
Louisville's got a few things against them. History, we're 0-5 or 6 against number 2 ranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
We had them down 21 points 2 years ago. They came back and beat us in the second half. We're up 7-6 at Tallahassee, the game we were at last year. They came back and beat us in the second half. So there's a lot of things going against us. I think whichever team makes better, second half of our halftime adjustments come out in the second half adjustments, whatever you want to call them, is going to win the game. But I think Louisville is going to win the game. I think we have a better team. I think we're deeper. I think our quarterback's better. We got more weapons at wide receiver and running back. And, they have Dalvin Cook and Francois, they're freshmen. But Dalvin Cook is definitely a player we're going to have to do something with.
Yeah. I think we got to tackle well. Florida State, they always got great talent, but I just don't think the quarterback play is going to be our quarterback play. If we can keep Dalvin Cook in check, then we win every other battle on that field tomorrow. Their safety's out. It's going to be a great game, but I do believe Louisville's going to win. And my prediction is 35-7.
35-7.
Yes, we're gonna go up real quick.
All right,
but we're gonna have to hold this lead, and I guarantee you, Bobby will have those guys' attention at halftime. So halftime is very important tomorrow. So
it's gonna be
to stay concentrated, stay on task.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a closer game. I do think Louisville's going to win. I think Florida State's been favored since the line came out, but I think Louisville's going to win. I think it's going to be a little closer. I think I'm going to go 35-31. I don't know. I think our defense is good, but I'm not sure we'll keep them out of the end zone. And obviously Louisville has to keep their turnovers in check and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what the weather's going to be like either, but
supposed to rain.
Yeah, and whoever wins this game is kind of in the driver's seat for our side of I think it's ACC Atlantic, because Clemson has to go to Florida State and play at Florida State. Now, granted, we have to go to Clemson still, which will be a good game. But if we can get Florida State on Saturday, then Clemson's got to go down there, and that puts us in a pretty good spot. So we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you what, if Clemson doesn't start playing better, they won't beat Louisville or Florida State. So
I can't believe they just barely beat Troy last week. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the chemistry's a little bit off, and I think they lost their wide receiver Mike Renfro. I think he broke his thumb or something last week late in the Troy game. I mean, he had to play because it was close. They didn't win by much.
And Deshaun Watson got to get sharper. He didn't look like the Deshaun Watson of last year. So
and I'm sure they'll get it together. And also lastly, a couple things too. I want to say hi to the Red Thread guys: Renee Kudo, of course, AC, myself, Browning, Chris Stender.
Todd
Ayers, Big Toddy. So hope you guys are watching. Hope you guys are watching. Also like to thank our sponsors, Robbie Wine, Shively Sporting Goods. Thanks for the nice shirts. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Abby, Alternative Behavioral Interventions. You got to get your therapy.
That's right. Keep your mind straight. Keep your mind clear. And then JP Mortgage Company. And I'm AC.
He wants
about
to be
that
AC.
No, that's right. I want to be like him. I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Pairadice. And that's how we roll. Damn. That's funny.
It's still on.
Good. You just probably ran out of memory.